The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap Professional Trader webinar series. Today we have Fausto Pugliese of Cyber Trading University. Let's just go through the risk disclaimer first, and then I'll introduce Fausto to you. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so Fausto is the CEO of Cyber Trading University. He's been doing this for quite a while here, and as an educator, but he was one of the original SOES bandits back in the day in the early 90s, so he has been trading for a long time here, and semi-retired in his early 20s, but started to get into the trading school and education to pass along the knowledge. I actually met Fausto a long time ago at the Money Show here in New York City, and watched him in the Money Show's Trader Challenge. Just easily, hands down, win compared to all the other experts and traders there at that time. So fantastic stuff to see. We're really happy to have him here and show that how his trading methodologies work here in real time. One more screen here. I will be putting this into the chat throughout the webinar for you. If you're interested in Fausto's education, etc., and contact information, it's all here, as well as the Bookmap affiliate link here. These are specials that are offered from Fausto for Bookmap. All right, so enough said. Let me just kick it off here and give the presentation to Fausto.
Thanks a lot, Bruce. Let me share my screen, everyone. Just give me a second here. All right, hopefully everybody can see it okay. Just give me a chat back if everybody can see my chat okay. See my screen?
Yep, looks good.
All right, perfect. All right, well, welcome everybody, and it's great to be here. I'd like to thank Bruce for having me. And let me tell you something. I want to talk a lot. Obviously, you guys know about the Bookmap. I'm going to teach you a little bit about it. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. But most importantly, I am going to show you how we utilize it and how important it is to trade with traders and how to use it. Listen, if nobody really buys into the Bookmap together, then obviously it's worthless. But if you're working with a group of people and you're all buying in and you like it and you're looking at it, let me tell you, it hands down, it will change the way you're looking at trading. Now, just tell you what we're going to be learning. I'm going to talk about why it's so important to trade with a group of traders. I'm going to talk about, I know we have some people here that are, traders, new traders, and some people that are Bookmap traders. So I'm going to talk a little about what ECNs are, why I call Bookmap level 4, and how we can tell and see where the smart money using the Bookmap platform. Now, just out of curiosity, I know we have some students here that logged in, but has anyone ever heard me for the first time? Just want to make sure if anyone here, just get to know a little bit about everyone. Just go on the questions and just say first, seventh. Ken, there you are. Ken says no. Hey, how you doing, Ken? Ken, you did pretty good today in the trading, right? Did pretty well in some of those some trades we traded. Let's say always. Okay, first time. All right. Now, my next really very important question is this: are you using Bookmap, or you're just an observer? I heard your name about Cyber Trading University. Okay, thanks a lot, Peter. You're a user, okay? Using, interested in using it, Florentino. Okay, no, learning how to use it, Lita. Thinking of it, okay. Use but learning, still learning. Okay, good. All right, so we got a lot of people that are using it. And about how long have you guys been using it for? About 2 days. That's not too long, Jeff. 1 month, 3 months, about 7 months. Jeff, David, 2 weeks. Need to get Bookmap. Well, Grant, we'll get that over and get that done. We'll get you to get that by the end of the day. 1 Want to understand a little bit more, about 9 months. Pablo, okay. Only trade 100 shares, estimate. Okay, Jeff. All right, so Lisa, I just want to get to know a little bit of everyone else. Okay, so some of you already know me being a student here, and but for the ones that don't know me, let me just explain exactly who I am and why I'm here. First of all, like Bruce was telling you, I'm one of the original SOS bandits, one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. And like Bruce said, you know, back in the early days, I did a lot of traders challenges. I beat every school in the industry, you know, yada, 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 12-time champion, big deal, right? How does that make you money, right? Well, the thing is this. I love to teach people, and what I've learned is that I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders in the world, and the reason why I learned from traders is because before I learned from traders, I was an ignorant 22-year-old kid back then, because I went out there to learn on my own. And then when I finally realized you can't do this by yourself, you have to trade with other traders. Because when I first took my first step in the room of a day trading room, and I saw these guys, a camaraderie, screaming, cheering, high-fiving, busting keyboards, getting upset, thinking that somebody was watching them. It was like, wow, this is so much action, so much excitement. And but the thing is, there was good things and there was great things that learned from it, and there was bad things. The things that you learn is you learn what not to do from people that lose money, and you learn from people that are making money what to do. It's like working in a kitchen. You know, I love cooking. I don't know about you guys, but you know, if you have a passion to do and you step in a professional kitchen with chefs and stuff, like, oh my God, you go to the next level. Trading's the same thing. If you love trading, you have to surround yourself with good traders. Now, how it came about, you know, why I'm here and why I'm teaching is that I want you guys to understand that I'm going to show you a little bit about how I use the Bookmap platform. I know some of you are futures traders, cryptocurrencies, stock traders. You know, once again, the platform that I use when it comes to, you know, comes to trading, you know, on that Bookmap, you're going to see that with the features that it has, like I was telling Bruce when I first met him, I am the anti platform indicator guy. I've been doing this for so long, okay, that every single person's coming out with some dumb indicator and this and that, and you know why they're the best. It's like a chef coming out with a bunch of cookbooks, right? But it never tastes the same when you eat there. Well, when you know, it came to me that one of my students came up to me and says, Fausto, listen, you got to check out this platform, okay? And I'm like, okay, you know, and I hear it all the time, and I'm like, no, you really have to check it out. It's exactly what you teach, Fausto. It's everything that you're looking for. I'm like, all right, great, I'll take a look at it. If you say it, he's a great trader in my trading room, does very, very well. And you know, and I don't really listen to too many people, but only the good ones obviously know, because they're always trying to do better. When I looked at this platform, I'm like, holy crap, this is Instinet. I mean, and it's not an indicator, it's a platform, it's different. And now it's like all my traders can't trade without it, and it just took us to the next level. That's why I teach something that's called level 3 trading. Some of you are probably familiar with level 1, level 2. I call the Bookmap level 4 because it's the next level past level 3. Now, the thing you have to remember, everybody, what makes stocks go up and go down is buying and selling, okay? Well, the only way you're going to know the buying and selling is going on is having the right platform to do it. So we've always been using NASDAQ book viewer. We've been using, maybe the TradeStation has their called Matrix, but when it came to this, it just totally was like a game changer. And you're going to see it as I talk about it. But the thing I want you to understand, everybody, is this. To be a good trader, though, you have to surround yourself with good traders, and you have to surround yourself with people that use the platform, okay? Because it's just going to make it that much better. Now, like I told you before, I am not a fan of any software. I don't use any of that stuff. You can't use it when you're an active professional day trader, because what's happening, and when you're going out there and you're trading the market, you got to know exactly who the buyers are, who the sellers are. But I'm telling you, This is probably the first time in the 25 years I've been in business I may have ever endorsed a platform ever. And that is shocking, okay? So when it comes to trading, guys, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Let me get right into the education part of it and tell you exactly how these things go up and go down the way they do, okay? So before I do that, just out of curiosity, can everyone just tell me what kind of trader is everybody? Are you a stock trader, FOREX trader? What kind of trader is everyone? Okay, we've got some futures, commodities, futures, stocks, mostly, yes, some options, futures. Okay, so listen, let me tell you the difference between all the with the trader, okay? Being a trader. 70% of all trading is exactly the same. Everything's the same. I mean, you know, it's only 30% of different markets. 70% is psychology, discipline, you know, momentum, all that stuff. So if you are a futures trader, you know, you could trade the stock market. Actually, I personally learned how to trade all of them. I just like trading the stock market a little bit better because it's a little bit less risky. And you hear about it every day in the news, in the papers. You know, very rarely you hear them talking about futures. It's always about, you know, what's going on in the stock market. And plus, you just have so much more to trade. That's one of the things. Now, first thing I want to start off is, how do we scan? Okay. Now, remember, the book map is just a platform. Okay. It's a platform to tell you where the buyers and sellers, where they were and where they're at. The problem is that you still have to find the right stock to trade using that platform. So what we do here at Cyber Trading University, every morning, we start trading at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning, 8 o'clock. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're trading an hour and a half before the market opens up, and we're scanning the market and we're looking for stocks that have some really good momentum. Stocks like here's one, MRNN was up 40%. Rite Aid, that was a good one. That one popped this morning, went from like 840 to 980. You know, we're looking for stocks that have momentum, but the thing is, how do you know it's going to continue to go up? How do you know people are still buying it? How do you know where to get out? Well, before you can actually implement the book map, you first have to know how to scan, okay? Now, like I told all of you, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to invite every single one of you to come in my professional trading room. And you're going to see how we use the book map and how we scan and how we trade. So I'm just going to give you a little heads up on that. So every one of you are going to have access to, you know, the original trading room that started over 25 years ago, okay? Now, what is the whole philosophy of the Cyber Trading University? We just follow the smart money. Listen, when I started, I learned every damn indicator out there. I read almost every single book that was out there. But the problem is those things don't talk back to you, okay? What talks back to you is orders. You have to remember, we're just the ants on the floor, right? We're just trying to make a day's pay. That's all we're looking to do. We're just looking to follow the smart money. That's all we're looking to do. So how do we do that? We need to know what the brokerage firms are doing and what the institution investors are doing and what the insiders are doing. Remember, just think about that. You tell anybody those three things, you just basically, wait a minute, you could see that? I'm like, yeah. How did I know that? Because I didn't know that until I got a job as a professional trader. And until today, there really was nothing out there that gave you that data. More or less people paying for stuff. You gotta remember, there's a lot of people in this world, they just want free stuff, right? You gotta admit, everybody wants free stuff. And you know what? I always tell my employees, I always tell my kids, and I learned this from my dad. He says, son, you never want anything free, you just want a good deal, okay? Because if it's free, that's all it's worth. Nobody gives anything for free. And that's why, you know, when you realize, when I start getting into the book map and I start showing you, you know, what kind of trader I am, and how successful I was, this just basically just takes it to that next level. So the goal is this. I'm going to start a little beginnerish. I'm going to start, because I know that some people here are not really traders and stuff, and then I'm going to get into the strategy behind the book map and how we utilize it. Are you going to show how to read a book map? Yes, I am going to do that. But let me start with kindergarten before I get to the 12th grade, okay? So basically, I want you to understand the whole philosophy behind Cyber Trade University. We're following the smart money. That's it. Okay, that's all we're looking to do. Now, the goal is this. You see stocks running up. Here's a stock like we traded SOLO. In one day, the stock ran from $1.50. It literally ran to almost $6 in one day. I mean, where do you find stocks that are up, 300, 400% in a day? Well, first of all, the book map is not going to help you do that. You need to know how to scan and find stocks, which, by the way, that's our style at Cyber Trade University. This is what you're going to get when you see what we do in the trading room. Now, the next thing you have to realize is that even though you found these stocks that are moving, now you need to know what and how are people placing bids and offers. Okay. Now, I back in 1997, I think it was, I was actually one of the developers and founders, developers who helped pioneer ECNs. Now, does anybody know what an ECN is? Does anybody know what an ECN is? Just give me a yes or no. If you don't know, because I want to make sure I'm not getting too beginnerish for some. I don't want to waste people's time. Florentino, you don't. Okay. Razi doesn't. It's there's no ECNs for Forex. It's specifically just for stocks. Okay. So we're getting, obviously we have a lot of students saying yes. Okay, so let me explain to you what an ECN is. An ECN is an electronic communication network. That's the abbreviation of an ECN. Basically what an ECN is, it allows you to become a brokerage firm, to place bids and offers, meaning you're a market maker. Now, not to bore you about history about trading back in the past, but when I started, whenever we wanted to buy and sell a stock, we had to buy and sell it, buy it from a market maker and sell it to a market maker. So us day traders are up in arms, and not only that, but who the hell we are, we really don't make a change. What happened was when NASDAQ found out and realized that they were getting, these market makers were stealing and lying and all that stuff, then they said, you know what, enough's enough. We want to make it a fair market system. We want everybody to have access to the market. This is not going to be no more a private club. So they went to us day traders and says, hey, what do you think we should do? And we said, you know what, let us become a market maker. Why do we always have to agree and buy and sell things from them? So that's how ECNs were born. We were beta testing it, yada, yada, yada. Here we are today. And now here is how Bookmap is going to be born. ECNs, basically, if you notice on the New York Stock Exchange, you watch the financial stations, you won't see anybody down there anymore. Everything's electronic. Everything is done through computers. Nobody needs to be there anymore, run around with a piece of paper in their hands and drop it to the specialist. Everything is done through, through ECNs. Now, the thing about ECNs is that ECNs is where now institutions are placing orders, market makers are placing orders. Before you were able to see market makers' names, now they don't want to expose themselves. Now they're routing everything through ECNs. Now there's several ECNs out there. There's ARCA, there's NASDAQ, there's BATS. There's so many of them out there, and you could see them on the level 2. Okay, you won't see them on the book viewer. So on most platforms, if you get level 2 and you look at the 4-letter symbol, these are basically usually the ones with the pound signs that you're seeing. Those are all ECNs. Now, just be very careful that when you trade with ECNs, they do charge you a little small fee, okay? Some people don't realize that, but that's how they make their money. Now, what is Book Viewer? Okay, so Book Viewer to me is level 3. Book Map is level 4. So let me explain to you what Book Viewer is, and then you'll see what a major difference is from this to that. Now, if any of you have watched me on YouTube or whatever, or attend to my free events, what separates me from every other educator out there is that I teach people how to follow the money. Okay, other people try to teach you a strategy. They got some crazy good Fibonacci idea, some crazy MACD idea, this and that. The way I teach is old style, strict, follow the money market makers. That's it. You just follow the money. And I think we all could agree to that. Now, book viewer, basically what that is, I call it level 3. Now, what you're seeing here is you're seeing buy orders and you're seeing sell orders. Hold on, let me get my little crayon in here so you can follow along. There we go. So you got buy orders here and you got sell orders out there. So this is basically a negotiated market. So whenever you want to buy a stock, if a market maker or whatever, they'll post their bids out there at the price they want to buy it. They also put their shares to sell out there right on the ask. Okay, so that's basically what they're going on. Now, is anybody here using book viewer? Anybody here using book viewer? No. Okay. All right. So imagine you trading without able to see orders. Think about this. How much smarter and better decisions would you make by seeing where the buyers and sellers are? Okay, so when I do presentations, I show people this. They're like, they fall off their chair. They're like, well, you could really see that stuff? Like, you could see the orders out there. You could see the buyers and sellers. I'm like, yes, absolutely. That's the beauty about trading with, you know, with a mentor and with good traders. Now, where and how does Bookmap come into play? Okay, right, just like the current order book, Paul, that's correct. Okay, now where does Bookmap come into play? Bookmap is a totally different ball game. Why I call it level 4 is because it's the next level. I feel technically it's not level 4. There's actually no such thing level 3. I started that name level 3 and level 4, but to me it's like the Apple phone, right? You got the Apple 1, the Apple 2. We're at Apple 15 now. I don't even know. I think I'm still stuck at the Apple 8. But this is going to give you more data. Remember, it's the data that dictates where the stock is going. Now, when you implement, you look at this, when I first look at this thing, believe it or not, even me as an advanced trader, I was confused. I'm like, what in the hell is all these balls? And what is this color and the dark blue and the red? I got the red part. I'm like, but what is all this on the bottom? And then, you know, what's the COB? And, you know, like everything was just like, and at first, if anyone looks at it, you're kind of confused. You know, you're like, forget it. You know what? I'll just go back to just buying and selling it. But then when you start realizing and you start thinking about this for a second, yeah, talking about being a Christmas tree is absolutely right. You know, and it definitely has the Christmas tree colors, right? The green and the green and the red. So when it comes to that, thanks for sharing that, Ken. So anyway, when you're looking at this platform, now the question is, what exactly am I looking at? What exactly is this Bookmap? What is it telling me? Okay, now let's get back to what I told you about NASDAQ Book Viewer. Book Viewer is showing you all the orders that are out there. You're seeing how many shares and at what price they're looking to buy it. You're looking at who's selling it and how many shares they're looking to sell. Now, whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy his shares for less money is down at the bottom. So you're basically seeing those orders out there, okay? Now, how does Bookmap come into play? Well, what happens with level 2 and level 3 with Bookmap, I mean with the Book Viewer, is that you're seeing the order out there, but then people could cancel an order. I get people ask me all the time. They're like, "Oh, how do you know these are real orders?" Or how do you know they cancel? Right? How do you know you got executed? Well, that's where the Bookmap comes in. The NASDAQ trader does not tell you that. You know, the ECNs don't tell you that. This will, and it'll tell you how long he's been there and where he's been. So looking at over here, in a nutshell, basically what you're looking at is we're looking at a stock TVIX. Okay, it's obviously it's an ETF, and you could see. Let me get my crayons again one more time. A little spot. So you could see how the stock literally went from $14, which is here, okay, and went all the way up to a price of 15, and then it came back down to about 14.40, went back close to 15, and just came right back down. Now, why did the stock stop at 15? Why didn't it go to 16? Why didn't it go to 18? Why did it stop at 14? Why did it go from 13.90 all the way up to 15? Well, when you see this red bar and you work your way down, on the right-hand side where it says COB, these are all the orders that are out there as we speak. So there is a 43,000 share seller sitting at $15. Not only has been sitting there, because let's say we're looking at the time right now, he's been out there since before 10 a.m. and he's out there right now. Okay, so what makes, and this is a question for all of you, everybody, what makes support and resistance levels on a chart? It's a very important question. You should all be able to answer this. What makes a support and resistance levels on a chart? If you can't answer this question, you should definitely quit trading. Buyers and sellers, right? Everybody write that, just B and S. Don't worry about it. Nobody's going to rat you out. Listen, it applies to futures. It applies to FOREX. It's all about buyers and sellers. Well, now the problem with a chart is delayed. The chart is telling you what happened in the past. It's not indicative of the future. Did you hear what I just said? A chart is what happened in the past. It's not always indicative what's happening is going to happen in the future. The book map is telling you what's happening in the future. Holy crap, are you serious? Yes. Because what makes the resistance levels? Sellers. Now you're seeing the sellers out there. And that is what gives you the game plan, where to get in and where to get out. All right, let me change the slide here. So look at this example right here. You're looking at a chart and you're like, okay, well, the stock went up, it went to 15, it came back down. I got 3 candles, stick greens, whatever. Look, I don't know what the hell is going to give you any indication the stock's going to go up other than not knowing why will it stop at 15? Why would it bounce at 1360? You have to see the orders. Jerry, level 3 does that too. It does. But the difference is between level 3 and the book map is that the level 3, and I'm going to show it to you, the level 3 is only showing you what's there at that time. It's not going to show you how long he's been out there and is he getting executed. You see, you're getting more valuable data out there that you're not getting with other stuff. That's the big difference. I hit a light bulb there, Jerry. That's what I like to hear. So the big buyers and sellers create big supports and resistance levels on a chart. I mean, hands down, that's basically what it comes down to. Is that why that limit is there? That's correct, David. Absolutely. That's what makes those limit orders. That's basically, you're seeing those limit orders, and you can't see those limit orders unless you have this data. Remember where we started, right? What makes stocks go up and go down? Supply and demand. Well, what the hell are you using that's showing you supply and demand? Some MACD, okay? Some a 200 moving average, some other crystal ball that somebody invented on an indicator who's trying to hit you over for $15, $20, which is actually a waste of money. You know what I mean? So it all comes down to that. So let's see TVIX now, okay? So here you are Let me show you how we look at trading. So here you are looking at a stock, right? And you're seeing what happened this morning. And you see how the stock is really like, right now it's trading at $14.14. To be a good trader, and if you own a stock, you should always have a game plan. Looking at this book map, in theory, where do you think the stock is going to be hitting its next major resistance level, everyone? Where do you think? And that's right, the red area. And where does that red area go to? If you don't know the answer, just give me a question mark. I'd rather you be honest with yourself, okay, than not be honest, because you're gonna end up just losing all your money. Because let me tell you something. One of the biggest passions that you learn if I ever become your mentor and you become a trader for a Cyber Trading University, you're going to realize I take this very, very seriously. There's no reason why anyone should lose money other than for stupidity. I hate to say it. You can't see the numbers? Okay. So first of all, here's your red line. Stock is right now trading here at 1440. So if it was to go up, you're hitting the next red line. Look at it a second. You got 5,000 shares, 1,000, 1 share, 2,000, 1,000. You have an 18,000 share seller out there. So as a trader, you know, it would be nice to own a stock to go from $14 to $18, right? Like, wow, that'd be a nice little profit. You know, they talked about, you know, this is going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, okay, great. Let it get through 14.25 first before you start thinking about going to 14.50 or 16 or $20. It's got to get through that guy first, okay? And how do we know that? Because there's a limit order out there sitting there. Okay, so David has a very good question. How do you know they're not spoofing? First of all, David, isn't spoofing illegal? Isn't that illegal, spoofing? Yeah. Okay, so why would somebody go out there and be so stupid and do that? You know what the fine is for somebody to do spoofing? Okay? They were probably doing it a while ago, you know, but let me tell you, you can't screw around with the SEC. They'll eventually catch you. You know, eventually catch you. Listen, I've been in business for 25 years, okay? I've trained tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. Let me tell you something. I'll give you a heads up. I even know some schools personally that probably be out of business, some of the biggest ones, because they are not compliant with what they're saying. How do I know that? I see people go out of business all the time for the same stupid mistakes. You got to be compliant. I've seen brokerage firms go out of business trying to do that. It's not worth it. There's an old saying, if you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime, okay? Now, let's look back what you got going on over here. Look what happened to the stock right here. It went exactly what we just said. It went straight up to 1435, right around that price. And what did the stock end up doing? It's hitting it, it's bouncing, it's hitting it, it's bouncing it, it's hitting it. There's a 22,000 share. Yeah, it's stalling right there, right? And you got to remember, this guy's been out there since 9:30 this morning. It is now 10 o'clock. He's been out there with that limit order there the whole time. The book map is tracking these orders. Level 3 doesn't track when he started. It just shows you where he's at right now. That is the big advantage. Now, how do we know the stock is going to go higher? What do we need the stock to break through resistance levels? What do we need for the stock to go past that big order, everyone? What do we need the stock to do? We need a demand. Very good. We need a demand. We need more buyers. Okay? Listen, stocks break support and resistance levels all the time, right? Well, how does that ever happen? Two things. The guy's going to cancel his order, which one of you said spoofing, you know, but that's not, you know, listen, I wouldn't be in business with a bunch of thieves and crooks. So anyway, so that would be one. And secondly, the guy's getting executed, and the book map is showing you that. That's what the bulls are for. Green means that there's buying going on. The bigger the bull, that means the more aggressive the trade. The red, and you're seeing it, and you're seeing the trades go on. What just ended up happening with the stock, everybody? What did it do? It went higher. It busted through that so-called resistance levels right here at 950. You could see all the green bars, boom, boom, boom. Now that red bar is not there anymore, right? You see just the bulls. Look, he's not there anymore. There's nobody resisted. There's no more orders. And then what did it do? It went all the way up to the next resistance levels, which we could see is right around $15. So like it or not, hope all you want, fasten your seatbelts, because unless there's someone that's going to resist it, it's going right to 15. And guess what? It did exactly what it's supposed to do. And that guy was out there ever since. Rezard said, wow, that's fantastic. Listen, this is, like I told you before, you want to make money in the market? Are you sick and tired just sitting around and holding positions? How many of you guys get suckered into a position and everybody talks about the winners, everybody talks about the losers, right? And then you're in a position and like, you know what, I do good, but I always get suckered in holding a stock and it's got to make up for my losers. It's like I do good, but I have a problem taking losses. I always tell everybody here at Cyber Trading University, let me tell you what our strategy is also. We don't teach you how to make money, which I know sounds ridiculous. Like, why would I need you for? No. We teach you how to stop losing it. The winners take care of themselves. You got to know how to take a loss, and you got to know how to take a profit. That is a major problem that people have. Now, let's look at the stock and continue with the stock. What end up happening to the stock, everybody? David says, do you sell in front of those reds? Listen, David, first of all, if you made 50 cents on 1,000 shares, you made $500. You do that every day for the course of a year, you made $100,000. You know what? I know a lot of people that'd be pretty ecstatic right now if they could sit home at the luxury of their house, have fun, maybe go golfing and working a half hour a day, would do that any day of the week. All right? Because guess what? What happened when we hit that resistance levels? It tanked, right? And how bad did it tank? That nice little profit not only became a break even, it ended up becoming a big loss. And not only was there a big resistance levels, you could see it. That guy never sold his shares at 15. And not only that, but you see, if you look over here on the right, let me get my crayon out there. You could continue to see that someone went out there, even dumped more shares. 215,000, 107,000. You're going to tell me that you're going to be smarter than that guy? Are you kidding me? This is why I beat every single school that I compete against. And I wish I had this platform, because I probably would have been not only would have beat them, I would have crushed some of these other schools. Because it's just like, it's a telltale window. You know what? They could sit there and analyze all they want. I'm just following the money. That's all I'm doing. And that's what you guys need to do yourself. So let's just say you came in at 450, which wasn't the red but orange. Do you sell partial in front? And if it goes over and you partial back, right, David? Like, the thing is, listen, let somebody else break through it, right? If it breaks through it, then I'll just buy it back. And guess what? If you didn't sell it, the thing tanked, and that's where it happens. Good. So anyway, it's pretty funny, but when I first met Bookmap, they said that they call these things iceberg orders. Now, believe it or not, I actually came up with that word iceberg orders about 20 years ago. It's funny now, everybody's now starting to use that word. So if you want to know how that word ever was invented or who came up with it, I actually came up with it, and I'll tell you how it all came to fruition. You guys ever, anybody watch the movie The Titanic? Okay. It's very depressing movie, very upsetting. You know, I think that was, you know, I think I even cried at that movie at the end when he was drowning. So anyway, the point of the Titanic was they built this massive ship, beautiful ship, high-end ship, the most gorgeous ship ever, and they called it the unsinkable ship. That's why they call it Titanic. Well, what happened was the Titanic, they only focus was on top. They didn't realize that, you know, an iceberg could sink it. And they're like, you know, we could see we see icebergs, but they didn't realize it's not what's on the top of the water, it's what's at the bottom of the water. On top is very small, on the bottom is very big. And that's what we're looking for. If you don't have the right radar, guess what? You're gonna sink and you're gonna end up blowing up your account. And that's how it all came about. So if you guys ever want to know where that word iceberg came in, that's where it all came about. Oh, the captain was drunk. I don't know about the that's possible. All right, so let's look at some of the morning watch lists that cyber trading is traded, okay, and tell you a little bit about it. So anyway, there's a lot of stocks that were moving, and this is what we do here at Cyber Trading University. Now you understand about the book map and the level 3 and everything else. Now you have to understand. And by the way, I know we had some future traders here and everyone else. You could realize you could relate to this. You see, the difference in what we're doing here is that I always just feel that the stock market's a lot less risky. That's really, you know, and you also have a lot more to choose from. Remember, why do we trade? To make money. Always remember that. Now, the thing is, now you need to surround yourself with some people that have good ideas, have good game plans, that trading just like you. Listen, question to all of you. Anyone here trading by yourself? Anybody trading by yourself? A couple questions coming here. How do you know if that's a large sitting order? Will it eaten through and continue higher or reverse? Well, that's what the bulls are for. The bulls and the CVP will tell you on that angle will tell you if those orders are getting filled. But that's what the bulls are for. That's telling you if they're getting if they're buying or selling. But getting back to my question, look how many of you are trading by yourself. Helene, Florentino, Razard, I hope I said it wrong. Charles, Jerry says no more. Jeff is. Paul says his cat's helping out. You know what? I love my cat too, Chloe too. Let me just tell you a funny story about Chloe. One day I went to the bathroom and Chloe decided to jump on my desk and she started touching some of my hotkeys on my keyboard, and she ended up buying me like 10,000 shares of stock. So Chloe's not allowed in my trading room anymore. Just give you a heads up on it. Be careful of cats because they don't. Thank God I was able to break even. The bad thing about it took me about 2 hours to get out all those positions. Anyway, it's all about surrounding yourself with good traders, okay? And remember, you don't need a lot of money to trade to have a very successful career in trading. You know, listen, you hear these stories, you'll meet these traders in our room. I have traders that make not hundreds, thousands of dollars a day. Now, how did they get there? By starting off, breaking even, making $100 a day, working their way up. You know, I hate to compare trading to gambling, but have any of you guys ever played blackjack? Anyone play blackjack before? Okay, so think about this for a second. If you play blackjack and your job, your career was to be a professional blackjack table, and you only learned, you play one hand, that's it, one hand, one deck, okay? And I started you off with 100 shares, $1. And you sat there all day. Eventually, you're going to get him like, you know what? I can't. First thing you're going to say is, you can't make money at $1. You know, that's not the point. The point is, you got to learn the deck. You got to learn the patterns. You got to learn what's going to come up. You got to learn everything. And eventually, you're going to be like, okay, now I'm doing good. I'm winning 70% of the time. I'm losing 30% of the time. So what do I do next? Okay, now let's trade. Let's play with $5 hands. Let's see how you do. And now we got a little money on the line. We get a little more risky. Next thing you're like, okay, well, doing better. Okay, now you're playing $25 hands, $100 hands. Eventually, you get to the $500 hands. You know, but everybody wants to make money yesterday. Listen, this is not, you hear this line all the time. Trading is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know, you just got to surround yourself with great traders. You got to surround yourself with a good platform, and you got to surround yourself with people that are using the same thing that you're doing. And that's how things work. So anyway, I'm almost out of time here, guys, because I got to get ready for a class myself. I got to get ready to get back with my traders in the room. But and I'm going to answer your questions a little quick, David. And like Ken just saying, it's a long process. And by the way, you'll get to meet all these traders. I know we have a lot of students here that are here now, and you're going to be happy to meet with them and the traders. Unfortunately, you can't read their chats. You're more than welcome. So anyway, just give everyone a heads up. Every one of you need to learn from mentors, and you're going to need more than one, okay? And it might not just be me, and it's okay. You want to listen to people. You listen to Bookmap. They had people here all day long. You know, you had a great presenter yesterday, the day before that. They do a very good job. They know that the one that educates wins, okay? You have to learn. This is not something you could just sit back and watch a couple of YouTube videos, which is nice. You know, listen, it'll give you, you know, it'll get you motivated, but you can't learn to be a brain surgeon on YouTube. You wouldn't give your money to a financial analyst that learned how to reading out of a book, okay? You need to learn from people that you get it and that are trading exactly the way you want to trade. And then you realize we're trading what a great job it is. You know, listen, it's not a full-time job. It's a part-time job when it comes to trading. I don't know why people think I gotta be here all day. I'll be out of my mind. I got better things to do. You know, that's the reason why I'm doing an event right now. I'm done trading. We had two good trades this morning. Everybody knows it. We traded Overstock and we traded Rite Aid. They were just great runners in the morning. What else you need to do? You make your day's pay and you're done. Then you can spend more time with your family. You can do the things you always want to do in life, you know, but you got to know how to play the game. All right. So just to let you guys know before we go, I want you to understand a little bit about Cyber Trade University. We've been endorsed by more brokerage firms than any educational school in the industry. And let me tell you something, that is very, very important. And you should, and if anyone trains you, make sure they're being endorsed by brokerage firms, because these brokerage firms have a lot to lose. They have a big compliance department. They do credit checks on us. They do audits on us. They wouldn't want us to train somebody that's teaching them how to lose money, more or less teaching them how to cheat the market. So, you know, when somebody tells you they've been around the block this long, that's obviously a good thing, okay? So make sure you do your homework. So before you go out there, you're all gonna have to spend money on education and be prepared that you wanna do this right, you're gonna have to spend some money. But you don't have to spend a lot in the beginning. But make sure you're being endorsed. And you know, feel free to go on Google, look up us on Facebook, look at what our students are writing about us, and you'll see, like I said, I always appreciate our traders going out there writing good things. But you know why they go out there and do it? Because they were you, okay? They failed, they made mistakes, but you know what? They all said the same thing. I just love trading. I haven't met a trader today that lost money that doesn't still love it today. Like, you know what? I lost money, but I still do it. I talked to a guy yesterday. He says for 10 years, he lost 200,000. I'm like, and you're still in the game? He goes, I just love it too much. I know I'm going to get it. He goes, but now you know, Fausto, I just wish I found you 10 years ago, you know, but I guess it's never too late to do it, because I finally found someone that's teaching me, you know, what not everybody else is preaching, how to follow the money, how to use level 3, how to use Bookmap, all that stuff. So this is what basically, well, he was an addict. Listen, you know what? He was still in the game. So anyway, this is what I want all of you guys to do. I told Bruce that I want to invite all of you guys to come to the original trading room, and I want you not to judge us on the winners, okay? I want you to judge us on our losers and how we get out of them and how we control them. The winners are great, okay? But I don't want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on how we're using Bookmap, how we're using level 3, how we're using a platform that you're using. That is what obviously is going to help you become a good trader. Yes, Tom, we do. Why is Bookmap not shown in the chat room? Well, Tom, first of all, we do show it in the chat room. We bring it back and forth. You got to understand something. We only can fit one window in the screen, okay? The book map is a platform. What we're showing you is the execution system. So yes, we're moving it back and forth. You know, we got 3 different things going on at one time. So, and I know some people here are just trading with just a laptop 15-inch monitor. So we don't want to, you know, we try to do the best that we can when it comes to it, but we show it in the room. And the thing is, so this is what I'm going to offer all of you. I need to know if you're a real person and if you're serious, okay? We're not looking for free people in the room. We need to know, you know, who you are. We want to talk to you, everything. And this is what we're offering. It's not a lot of money, guys. It's a cup of coffee here in New York City. That's what they charge, $9. $9 is what you're going to get. You're going to get a day trading crash course. You're going to get a cyber group trading room. You're going to get 3 daily market meetings. You're going to get free commentating in the trading room, a morning and afternoon watch list. You're going to actually be able to talk to your own personal education advisor. You're going to go in here at Cyber Trade University. You're going to get live Q&A training sessions. And as a bonus, if you guys register, okay, you will be able to get, for the first 20 people, I will give you a free coaching class, okay? So that's basically what it comes down to it. You get a free coaching class, you're gonna get all this, and you know what? After 7 days, if you don't like it, I'll give you $9 back. Listen, personally, guys, I don't need the $9. I tell everybody this all the time. This is just to prove to me you're a real person. You want to take me seriously? You want to know how we use Bookmap? You want to know how we find the stocks? You want to know how we get in and out of these positions? You know, prove to us who you are, and then we'll go from there. And you know what? When we'll talk, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to tell you if trading's for you or not, okay? So, you know, the thing is this. Trading's not for everybody, and I tell everyone, and that's okay. That's fine. You know, listen, not every kid goes to college and fulfills what he went to college for. Actually, 20% of them actually do. But wouldn't you want someone to tell you the real truth? Wouldn't you want someone to actually, and don't you want to surround yourself with good traders? You know, unfortunately, I hate to say this. I don't know if anybody follows football. I'm a Jet fan, but I'm a miserable Jet fan because our Patriots keep killing us. If you follow football, these guys won 6 Super Bowls and they're in our conference. They beat us all the time. You know, but I don't hate them. I respect them. I kind of hate them, but I got to respect them. They're very talented. You know how many people will die and take a pay cut just to be on that team? You know, so the thing is, you want to be on a winning team. You want to see what winners look like? Take the $9 and make that investment. So we posted the link up in the chat room, the Cyber Group trial. Just click on that link, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll get you registered. So I got a couple of minutes left. I want to answer some questions coming across here. Adam Gates needs to join. Gates needs to join the CTU team. Well, you know what? You know what's kind of funny is, shockingly, just to let everybody know, you'll notice I do teach a lot of NFL players. I do a lot of charity work for the NFL. Actually, Bruce was actually there for one of the events that I did, so he can vouch for it. So I do a lot of charity. I help a lot of NFL players. They lose a lot of money, you know, giving to these analysts, and they're like, you know what? They don't know finance, so I teach a lot of them. And you'll meet them in a trading room, and some guys that win, you know, some Super Bowl players in there. It's amazing, and let me tell you, they realize how important it is. It's a lot cheaper to be on a winning team than go and get to somebody else and blowing it and trying to charge you a commission on it. But what else we got questions here? Fausto, why is, okay, so I spoke to that one. Will I need to have a trade station to scan? Can I do that on Thinkorswim? So listen, don't worry about brokerage firm accounts. If you have one already, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just worry about the $9 right now, okay? Worry about the $9, get in the trading room, see what we got, and then we'll worry about it when we talk together. You know, I look at you guys as some 16-year-old is now legally to drive, and they're worrying about buying the car. Let me teach you about how to drive first before you go out there and kill yourself. All right, that's the way it comes down to it. Any other questions, guys? Ben says, how do you screen for smaller volume, easier trades since they can be pushed around easier? No, Ben, that's completely false. I don't know who taught you, Ben, but that's not right. I'm going to teach you how, you're going to see how we scan, and we actually scan before everybody else is in the market. You know, we start at 8 o'clock, actually 7:45 in the morning. So scanning is actually pretty easier. Getting stocks getting pushed around, listen, less expensive stocks, less experienced traders, brokerage firms put on there, the easier it is for you to get in and out of these positions, okay? Rosario already signed up. Well, good, Rosario. Thank you very much. By the way, just a couple of shout outs. I do see a couple of people registering right now. And who do I got here? Brazil, yeah, there you are. Just got you registered. You from Arizona? Is that where you're from? Perfect. Just got your registration. Look forward to seeing you. John from Los Angeles got your registration. Good to see you. Okay, I see you guys registering now. By the way, when you register, there's a quick question, a Q&A we're going to ask you. Just let us know a little bit about you. It's just going to make things a little bit easier for us to kind of advise you what would be best for you. What else we got here? On equities, pick up on Bookmap. Don't know what that means. Okay. Do you trade on margin on low cost? Paul, when you day trade, you know, as long as you don't need the margin, but it's nice to have it. It doesn't cost you anything. You know, it's not like doing a swing trade or an investment. So usually not, but if I need it, it's good to have it as an emergency. It's like a credit card. You know what? You might have a $50,000 credit card limit. Doesn't mean you go blow it at the end of the month, right? But you know what? God forbid something happens, it's a catastrophe, you're stuck somewhere in some desert island, and that's all they take, you're gonna be very thankful of it. So I look at it that way. If I trade futures, would this course benefit me? Cindy, listen, there are a lot of futures traders that come in there. Listen, it's gonna help you become a better futures trader also, or you might at least know, listen, I have options traders, right? Listen, what makes an option move? A movement of the stock. Don't you think you need to know what stock's moving first before you trade the option? So yes, it's gonna help you. It's not gonna hurt you. And for what? $9? That's all it's gonna cost you. Is your trading room a course monthly for stock traders, or is it also for futures trades? It's mainly for stocks, swing, options, and very little futures. Okay. Wendy, I think Bruce just put in the Bookmap cost there. My question about dark pools. Okay, so David, listen, you want to learn about dark pools, go Investopedia. There's a 60-second commercial on it. It tells you exactly what a dark pool. That's the least of your problems. You're worrying about dark pools and you're in the wrong business, okay? Dark pools are basically orders that are trading within a brokerage firm's account. You know what? That's not going to help you. What's going to help you is knowing where all the orders are right now. I was never worried about dark pools, never affect me. And when you have the Bookmap, that's all, you know, that makes it more than enough. $9, right? It's $9 for 7 days, Ben. Yes. And if you want to continue after that, like I said, it's $149 a month. And listen, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't, no big deal. No problem. You're very, very welcome. Appreciate it, Davi. All right, guys. So you got the link. You got the registration. I taught you a little bit about Bookmap. You see the importance of it. You know, listen, if some of you move forward with us, I look forward to seeing you in the trading room. Just remember, when you register, you're going to get access to an education advisor. He's going to walk you through your dashboard. He's going to show you everything you're going to see. He's going to tell you a little bit about the course. He's going to tell you a little bit about what you need to see in the trading room so you don't get lost, because I'm telling you right now, a lot of you are going to be so damn confused. I don't care how advanced you are. You're going to see what it's like to be in a real professional trading room, and you're going to see real traders that, you know, that are really trading stocks. And the big thing is, it's not about me trading, it's about me teaching you how to figure it out on your own. But you're going to know how to use the Bookmap, you're going to learn how to use follow level 3 and level 4, and you're going to see that trading is not as difficult as you make it to be. Okay. All right. Just want to do a little more quick shout out. I just got Charles V. I just got your registration from New Mexico, and Vaughn Clements, I think that's what it is, from Western Australia. All right. I had a student fly all the way from Australia to New York to come to my on-site. You know, actually two students actually. So that's how committed some of the traders are. All right, everyone, listen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bookmap, thanks for having me, Bruce. And look forward to seeing you guys all in the trading room. Appreciate it. And students, thanks for coming up. All right, listening. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading.